Sit up. Hey. How about those boys in blue? Let's buff up. Listen, I'll tell you what, the heart on this team is unlike I've ever seen before, man. The heart, the will, the desire, man. The way you guys came together as a team again. Again, you just keep playing, man. It's awesome. Give yourself a round of applause.
17. Oh, man.
Come on.
Yeah, oh, man.
Yeah, 17! Yeah! Hey, I said it before. It's by 1, it's by 100. Get it done. That's all we gotta do. We stay with us and we do us. That's it. Love y'all, boys. Wait up, 3, 1, 2, 3.
We stay with us and we do us. In the immortal words of Josh Allen, I love that man. He definitely can lead a locker room, you can tell. As soon as he came up, everyone's like, 17, yeah, 17. You know he can lead a locker room, man. You know he's a leader in there for sure. Welcome back, everybody, to the one and only Slack and McGracken Sports Podcast, the only place where you can slack off and not get judged for it. What a game this was. No, really, what a game this was. Another week in this 2022 season where my heart is beating out of my chest, and you're in the game. In that second half, you're in the whole fucking game. First half, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that first half? Like, seriously, that was fucking terrible. That was the worst half of football I've watched since Jacksonville last year. That's really what I thought was going to happen again in this game, and I was pissed. I was miserable. When Baltimore went up 17-3 in the second quarter on a 42-yard Justin Tucker field goal, their win percentage was 91.1. Just think about that. The Baltimore Ravens' win probability in that second quarter was 91.1. By the time the Bills caught up, the Bills had a 54.4% chance to win the game. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. A lot happened in this game. There's a lot to get to. So, let's get to it. So Baltimore kicks the ball off. Since Buffalo elected to receive, they won the toss. That's the thing. Usually I feel like Buffalo defers, but in this case they chose to receive, which honestly I can't blame them. You're playing Lamar Jackson. Like, let's start with the ball here. Let's take the lead. Well, that's not what happened. On the first drive of the game, Buffalo ran the first play with Devin Singletary, which was only gained for 2 yards. So it was 2nd and 8. Josh Allen threw a pass to Dawson Knox, which was incomplete. And then the following play, 3rd and 8 on the Buffalo 26-yard line, Allen throws a pass to Dawson Knox, which is tipped by Calais Campbell, and then intercepted by Marlon Humphrey. Horrible fucking start. Horrible fucking start. And not to mention Marlon Humphrey returned it for 26 yards. So Baltimore starts on the Buffalo 4-yard line. About a minute into the game, disaster. Fucking disaster. Dobbins runs it up the middle for 3 yards first play. Now he's already on the Buffalo 1-yard line. Next play, Lamar Jackson throws a short pass to J.K. Dobbins for a touchdown. Extra point by Justin Tucker's good. Ravens are already up 7-0. So, Buffalo gets the ball back. You're like, okay, the game's early. It's early. It's okay. Baltimore kicks it off. First play, Allen throws it to Jamison Crowder. Incomplete. Second play, Devin Singletary, 3-yard run. Third play, it's 3rd and 7. Buffalo 46-yard line. Allen throws a pass to Stephon Diggs for 18 yards. Baltimore penalty for too many men on the field, so it's a 5-yard penalty. So Buffalo starts on Baltimore 31-yard line. Allen scrambles for an 8-yard gain. Next play, 1st and 10 on Baltimore's 23-yard line. Allen throws an incomplete pass again to Jamison Crowder. 2nd and 10. Allen throws a short pass to Devin Singletary for 3 yards. Next play, 3rd and 7 on the Baltimore 20-yard line. Allen throws a short pass intended for Isaiah McKenzie. Incomplete. So, Buffalo's forced to kick the field goal. 38-yard field goal by Tyler Bass is good. Okay, 7-3. You're like, all right. We're like, okay, we're still in it. It's not that bad. Next drive for Baltimore. Bass kicks it off. Jackson scrambles right for 4 yards on 1st and 10. It's 2nd and 6. Dobbins runs for 9 yards. 1st and 10 again for Baltimore. Lamar Jackson throws the ball to Devin Duvernay for a 12-yard gain. 1st and 10 again for Baltimore. Pass incomplete to Rashad Bateman. Then Justice Hill, 1-yard gain. Lamar Jackson scrambles for a 10-yard gain. 1st and 10 again. J.K. Dobbins, 2-yard gain. Lamar Jackson throws a pass to Demarcus Robinson for 3 yards. Next play. Jackson throws a pass to Rashad Bateman for 13 yards. 1st down again. Lamar Jackson, 9-yard rush. J.K. Dobbins, 2-yard rush. 1st and 10 again. Lamar Jackson. Short pass to Mark Andrews for 6 yards. Next play. J.K. Dobbins, 3-yard rush. Patrick Richard up the middle for 3 yards. They're on the Buffalo 7 after that play. Now they're on the Buffalo 4-yard line. On 1st down, Dobbins 4-yard touchdown. 14-3 ball game. You're like, all right, Bills, gotta get it together now before we start to fall behind here. Next drive, Tucker kicks the ball off. Allen, incomplete pass to Devin Singletary. Next play, 2nd and 10. Allen completes a pass to Dawson Knox for 10 yards. Next play after that, Devin Singletary runs for 4 yards just to fumble the ball. Recovered by Marcus Williams at the Buffalo 36-yard line. And this is just the first fucking quarter. Now, given it was raining, look, I get that. I get it. But the problem I have with it, last year they play Houston in Buffalo and Orchard Park, and it is downpouring. Now, given Buffalo did the same thing, the first drive, Allen threw an interception. But the Bills dropped 40 points on the Texans. Not to mention they were 40 unanswered points. They shut them out in the pouring rain. Now they're playing Baltimore in the rain. They can't catch a fucking ball, and they're fumbling the ball, and then Josh is a turnover. I mean, it's disaster. It's total disaster. And look, again, I get it's raining. I get that. I get it's raining. But my fucking God, you gotta catch the ball. And you gotta hold on to the ball. Like, there were so many catchable balls in this game, it's not even funny. Like, it's not even funny. And that's not me just to, like, talk shit as a fan. But, like, my God. I don't know how many times I was saying catch the ball. Like, it was bad. It was bad. Yes, the Bills made up for it, but this was a brutal first half. This was ugly. And I just talked about the first quarter, just like a game summary here on Pro Football Reference. Not even in the second quarter yet. Alright, second quarter. Since Devin Singletary fumbles the ball, obviously Baltimore has the ball. 1st and 10 on the Buffalo 36-yard line. First play. Lamar Jackson throws a pass to J.K. Dobbins for a 20-yard gain. 1st and 10 on the Buffalo 16-yard line. Lamar Jackson pass incomplete to Mark Andrews. 2nd and 10 on the Buffalo 16-yard line. Justice Hill, 4-yard run. 3rd and 6 on the Buffalo 12-yard line. Lamar Jackson, short pass complete to Mark Andrews for no gain. And then there's also a 10-yard penalty for pass interference on Mark Andrews. Now it's 3rd and 16 for Baltimore. Lamar Jackson sacked by Von Miller for a 2-yard loss. 4th and 18. Justin Tucker, 42-yard field goal is good. Now, this is what I was saying. Their win probability at this point, 91.1%. And it's crazy to think that the Bills won this game, because seeing how this game was going, it was not looking good for the Bills whatsoever. Next drive, Justin Tucker kicks the ball off for a touchback. 1st and 10, Zach Moss, 5-yard rush. 2nd and 5, Allen completes a pass to Isaiah McKenzie for a 4-yard gain. 3rd and 1, Zach Moss, no gain. 3rd and 1, Zach Moss rush attempt for no gain. Why the fuck? Why in the fuck are we running 3rd and 1 with Zach Moss and we stack the box? You really don't think the defense is going to realize we're running the ball when you stack the box and then you have Zach Moss back there as your power running back? Like, seriously? I've always hated that play since I watched football. Like, oh, we have 1 yard, we're just going to run it. Like, it's so predictable. It's so fucking stupid. The whole defense showed blitz. They knew you were coming. Now Buffalo has to punt. It's just ridiculous. Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, you can't... Like, why was that so conservative, that drive? Run, shorted pass, run. What the fuck? Again, I get it's raining. But we're not a conservative offense. Like, we've never been a conservative offense. And last time I checked, conservative offenses don't win in this fucking league. Mitch Trubisky in Pittsburgh, probably the safest quarterback throwing the ball right now, he got benched. Kenny Pickett is making his NFL debut, his first start. He's making his first start, his actual NFL debut, I should say, against the Bills. Teams that play it safe like that don't win. They don't. So, why the fuck are you being so conservative? Why? Run, short pass, run. That's not the Bills' offense. Bills' offense is running up the score, throwing the ball down your fucking throat, and running it with Josh, if need be. And I know what everyone's gonna say. Oh, well, we don't want to run it with Josh because we don't want him to get hurt and blah, blah, blah. Look, if it adds to his game, then let him play the way he wants to play the game. And whenever Allen runs it, he's getting the first down every time, basically. So I don't see what the problem is with it. Why would you limit someone's strength like that? Use it while Allen has it. Because when he gets older and he can't run like that anymore, you're going to be like, oh, Allen should have maybe ran a little more. Like, just let him play football. Everyone's like, oh, we have to have Josh Allen do less. We have to have Josh Allen do less. Why? Fucking why? Everyone's like, Allen should run it less. Okay, no one's saying Lamar Jackson should run it less. Running the ball adds to Lamar's game, just like Josh. So, why should Allen stop doing it? You're worried he's going to get hurt? He's a fucking farm boy. He'll be alright. He's a big dude. 6'5". He'll be alright. Do injuries happen in the NFL? Yes. But Allen will be alright, man. You can't take away a quarterback's strengths. You can't. Because when you do, they're not going to succeed. And I don't know if anybody else has realized this, but this team under Ken Dorsey is having Josh run it less. And it's like, listen, if you're scoring, like, if you're putting points on the board like you did against Tennessee, I don't care. But, if you're just, running the ball like with Zach Moss here, or you're fucking throwing these short passes, then yeah, let Josh run a little bit. Let Josh fucking cook. Like, seriously. Do I hate Ken Dorsey? No. But I'm not happy with that drive. I don't hate Ken Dorsey. It's still too early to tell how I feel about Ken Dorsey, but so far he's been pretty good. So far this offense hasn't really missed a step up until this game. And I know we lost in Miami, but if it wasn't for the Heat, I'm sure Josh Allen would have made that throw to Isaiah McKenzie. I mean, the dude was gassed. He threw a dud. He never does that anymore. He did that his rookie year. He never does that anymore, though. So Baltimore gets the ball back on the 29-yard line. Lamar throws a pass to Patrick Richard for a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6. Dobbins, 16-yard rush. 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 49-yard line. Dobbins with a 1-yard rush. It's 2nd and 9. Lamar Jackson scrambles right for no gain. It's now 2nd and 19. Lamar Jackson completes a pass to Devin Duvernay for 21 yards on 2nd and 19. Like, what the fuck? And the reason I'm saying what the fuck, it's not just because they converted on 2nd and 19. It's the way they did it. It looked like Von Miller was going to get to him. They were right there. It was Von Miller and another defender. I can't get the number from the highlights here. I tried getting the other number and I just couldn't. I couldn't get the angle. I couldn't find the other number. But it was Von Miller and another defender. They were right there on him. Lamar throws the ball off just in the nick of time. Looks like Matt Milano's going to intercept it. Ball gets tipped in the air. And then Duvernay catches it for a first down. Like, what the fuck? That's what it's like being a Bills fan right there. That's the type of shit that only happens to the Bills. I'm convinced. I'm convinced that's the only time that shit happens is to the Bills. No other team in this league. I'm convinced shit like that only happens to us. And again, I have a conscious bias. I have a conscious bias to the Bills. As I'm sure some of you do too. But I swear to fucking God, that shit only happens to us. At this point, I was ready to just start breaking everything in my basement. I was ready to just start breaking shit. I was miserable. I was pissed out of my mind. I was pissed out of my gourd. I was just livid. I felt bad because my mom was sitting downstairs with us, right in front of Mom, and I'm swearing up a storm. It's not good. It's not good. It's never fun when that happens. But I was so done after this play. Was I obviously gonna keep watching the game? Yeah, because I physically cannot not watch a Bills game. But I was ready to mentally check out after that. Like in the AFC Championship game when Kansas City just kept scoring. I was still watching that game, but I was checked out. After that play, I was looking like the Will Smith meme where he's just talking to what's her face and he's crying, dead ass looked like he was crying, and I don't know, he had that face, that depressed, miserable face. That was me after that. The fact that the Bills were able to pull this win off after all this shit, not to mention the injuries. That's how you know this is a good football team. That's how you know this is a good football team. Because they found a way to win. They found a way to get the job done. And McDermott's been preaching that since he got here. Find a way to win. Find a way. Well, they found a way. They capitalized on Baltimore's mistakes. And that's what you have to do in this game. The team makes a mistake, you capitalize on it. It's that simple. You're just playing the game. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So, after Baltimore was able to capitalize on a 2nd and 19 by pulling it out of their ass, it's now 1st and 10 on the Buffalo 39-yard line. Dobbins has a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9. Lamar Jackson, short middle pass to Patrick Richard for a 7-yard gain. It's now 3rd and 2. Lamar Jackson completes a short right pass to Justice Hill for 2 yards. 1st and 10. Justice Hill, rush for no gain. 2nd and 10. Lamar Jackson sacked by Gregory Rousseau for an 8-yard loss. And I will say this, speaking of Gregory Rousseau, no one's talking about it, but he's having a really good second year. He's having a really good second year so far. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. I think Rousseau and Von Miller together, I think it's just dangerous, like I've said. I think it's dangerous. And I think the fact that Von coming into the building has really helped Rousseau's development. And it's only going to help this team in the long run, especially with that pass rush. Because the pass rush needs it. It's needed it forever now. And now that Von Miller's here, you have Gregory Rousseau developing with Von Miller on the team, in the locker room, in the team meetings. You have Ed Oliver and Jordan Phillips when healthy. It's a hell of an upgrade at pass rush. Compared to last year, hell of a fucking upgrade. It's now 3rd and 18. And part of me was thinking, after the last 2nd and 19 conversion, I was thinking, oh, here we go, it's 3rd and 18. Because Buffalo, on 3rd and long, plays soft zone and just waits for the team to make a play before they tackle them. And when that happens, they always get the first down. I don't know why Buffalo has that 3rd and long philosophy, but it doesn't make sense to me. When it's 3rd and long like that, they'll wait to make a play. And then when they finally tackle them, they usually get the first down or they're a couple yards off. This time it was a 4th and 9. Which then Baltimore had a 5-yard penalty, was 4th and 14. I mean, did Tucker still get the 51-yard field goal? Yeah, it's Justin Tucker. He's the best kicker in football. Duh. But Buffalo has done this since McDermott's got here in 2017. This 3rd and long philosophy. I've never understood it. Not to say hey, we don't have a good secondary or anything when healthy. Yes, we do. But 3rd and 18, bro, just make the fucking play. Don't wait to make a play. Just make the fucking play. Make him get off the field. The fucking sooner you get him down, the sooner we get better field position. What if you stop them right there on 3rd and 18? They don't get a gain. They get no gain. Well, maybe they don't get to kick a field goal. I mean, I'm sure they still do it with Justin Tucker anyway. But I'm talking about other teams. Maybe you stop them. Maybe they have to punt instead of get a field goal. Like, I'm just saying, make a play. Don't wait to make a play on 3rd and long. The other thing I thought was odd was they didn't start Jaquan Johnson this time because Jordan Poyer came back. He was healthy for this game. This time they started Damar Hamlin and Jordan Poyer. Jaquan was the backup. I was surprised by that because Hamlin and Poyer both play strong safety, but Hamlin played free safety. He didn't do bad. He had a good game. He made a lot of tackles. He made a lot of plays, and he stayed in it. So it's nice to see that we're getting some development out of these young safeties, at least. I mean, injuries suck, but at least so far, knock on wood here. But, I mean, even watching Jaquan Johnson last week and Damar Hamlin, they didn't really get burned. I mean, we had that Waddle play on 3rd and 22, but, so far these young safeties are, they're getting the job done. Plug them in and it's working, so keep doing your thing, but when it's 3rd and long, you gotta make a play, that's all I'm saying. So Justin Tucker kicks it off. Bills start with the ball on the 25-yard line. Their own 25-yard line, I should say. Allen completes a short pass down the middle to Jameson Crowder for 7 yards. Next play, Josh Allen throws a pass to James Cook, which is incomplete. Went for a screen, it was incomplete. Now, there's a lot of talk about James Cook right now. And the argument is, well, why isn't James Cook getting enough play time? One side says, coach isn't giving him enough chances. The other side says, he's not making any good plays to get a second chance right now. He's got nothing but negative plays right now. Why would you want to play him on the field if you don't trust him? And I understand both sides of that spectrum. Well, James Cook's a 2nd-round pick. But then it's, well, James Cook has a fumble and he's been dropping passes, so why would you put him out there? I understand both sides of it. I do. James Cook, though, has that speed that Zach Moss certainly doesn't have and Devin Singletary doesn't have. Should Singletary be the number 1 running back? Yeah. But to sit here and give James Cook only 2-3 snaps a game, like, what the fuck? You drafted him in the 2nd round. You spent a 2nd-round pick on this guy. You invested high on this running back. You should be utilizing your draft capital. I understand Cook fumbled on his first carry. Singletary fumbles a lot too. The only difference is Singletary's been lucky. He's only lost 3 of the 11 times he's fumbled. They said on the radio today, he fumbles just as much as Melvin Gordon. The only difference is that Singletary gets the ball back. Singletary fumbles too, so does Zach Moss. They've been doing this ever since the Colts game last year, where they'll bench a guy or they'll have a guy sit out because he fumbled. And I understand the whole disciplinary thing. I get it. I'm not saying you shouldn't discipline your players if they fuck up. I'm saying that only goes so far, dude. Like, eventually you got to give him a second chance, because otherwise he's going to play scared. He's going to be thinking. And when you play while you're thinking, you're fucked. If you overthink while you're out in the field, you're fucked. He's a 2nd-round pick. He's a hell of a fucking athlete. He has fucking speed. Fucking use him. And use fucking Devin Singletary split carries. Because a running back's lifespan in this league is short. An average running back lifespan in the NFL is like 4 to 5 years. So like a rookie contract. So James Cook's prime is like right now. So fucking use him. Don't be like what you did with Gabe Davis and waste 2 of his fucking years. Waste 2 of his rookie years. Or waste 2 of his years on a rookie contract. Fucking utilize the draft capital you fucking spent and put him out there. See what they got. I understand they're a rookie, but come on. You can't just not play somebody because, well, they're a rookie. No, fucking play them. You should definitely have Singletary be the number 1 running back. He's in the last year of his contract. But use James Cook a little more. And not only that, we were talking about how James Cook was going to, take passes out of the backfield. They haven't really done that with him. They maybe threw the ball to him once, twice, maybe 3 times now. And yes, he's dropped all of them, so I can understand why they don't want to run him. But it's like, what are we doing here? Like, you drafted this guy to help your running back room, to help your running game, and to help, with yards after catch and receiving and catching out of the backfield, being another weapon for your franchise quarterback, Josh Allen, your $258 million investment, your first-round pick. You have a second-round pick running back for him now. Utilize the draft capital you fucking have, because eventually, in a blink of an eye, James Cook's going to be due for a new contract. I would hate to sit here and see him not work out, but if you don't use him, if you just leave him on the bench, then yeah, it's not going to work out. And we would have just wasted a second-round pick then. Now, it's still kind of early to tell here. Again, we're only 4 weeks through the season. We're not even halfway there yet. But my God, let's start seeing some more James Cook, please, because what I'm seeing so far is just negative, and we don't want negative. We want some positive. Let this rookie get some positive plays. Let him get some positive runs. Let him get a positive, yards after catch play. Like, you got to use your fucking talent. You got to use the speed you have, because this league keeps getting faster. You got to utilize the speed you have on your roster. And outside of Stephon Diggs right now, and maybe Josh Allen with his legs, there's not much speed on this football team right now. Davis has the lingering ankle issue. All he was a full go at practice today. But other than that, I mean, come on. I want to see more James Cook. I was hyped when we drafted him. I want to see more James Cook. The 3rd and 3. Allen, incomplete pass to Jameson Crowder again. Bills punt for 43 yards. Just could get nothing going in the first half. Until the end. Which we're about to get to. But again, what the fuck is this first half? Like, what the fuck? That's all I said to everybody the next day when they asked me about the game. I was just like, what the fuck was that first half? Because this is brutal. This was brutal to watch. This is brutal to talk about. Because this is not the Buffalo Bills offense. Just brutal. Just inexcusable. So when Buffalo punts, the Ravens start on the 25-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Lamar Jackson has the ball. He completes a pass to Mark Andrews for no gain, but there's a 5-yard penalty on the play, so they have to repeat first down. 1st and 15. Lamar Jackson, pass incomplete. It was intended for Rashad Bateman. It's now 2nd and 15. He completes a pass to Justice Hill for 10 yards. It's now 3rd and 5. Lamar Jackson, pass intended for Demarcus Robinson. It's an incomplete pass defended by Jordan Boyer. So now Baltimore's forced to punt. Buffalo's first 3 and out all day. And it was good to see because, now we have the ball back. And hopefully we get some points on the board before the half because Baltimore's about to get the ball back because we started with the ball in the first quarter. We received. We won the coin toss, so Baltimore gets the ball in the second half. So, we have a minute 47 now. Like, we got to go down. We got to get some points here because if we don't, we go 3 and out again. We go into the half at 17-3. It's not going to be good. Or if we go into the half 20-3, it's not going to be good. So Buffalo starts on their 24-yard lines, 1st and 10. Allen completes a pass to Gabriel Davis for 13 yards. There's a penalty for defensive holding, so it's a 5-yard penalty on the defense added to the yardage, so Buffalo now starts on the 37-yard line, just 1st and 10. A minute 41 to go. Allen completes a pass to Isaiah McKenzie for 5 yards, 2nd and 5. Allen completes a pass to Stephon Diggs for a 17-yard gain. Marlon Humphrey gets a call for holding. It's another 5 yards added. It's now 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 41-yard line. They started from the Buffalo 42, now they're on the Buffalo 41, just like that. Offense is starting to get going finally. Allen scrambles for a 9-yard gain because nobody was open. Clutch by Allen, using his feet when he needs to. 2nd and 1. Allen, incomplete pass to Isaiah McKenzie. It's now 3rd and 1, 3rd down. Singletary runs for a 4-yard gain. It's now 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 28-yard line. Josh Allen incomplete for a deep ball. It's now 2nd and 10. Allen completes a short pass to the middle to Devin Singletary for 14 yards. It's now 1st and 10 of the Baltimore 14. Allen then has an incomplete pass intended for Stephon Diggs. That right there should have been a touchdown. It was in Diggs' hands and he dropped it. That right there should have been a touchdown. But it was 1st down. It's now 2nd and 10. Alright, don't panic, we got this. Allen completes a pass to Dawson Knox for 10 yards. It's now 1st and 4 on the Baltimore 4-yard line. Allen completes a 4-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah McKenzie. Tyler Bass kicks it. Extra points good. 20-10 Baltimore. It's a 10-point ball game. With 9 seconds remaining in the second quarter, going into halftime, that's exactly what you want to do, despite how rough of a start you had. You want to end it on a good note at least. And that's what the Bills did. And I definitely think the momentum shifted over into the second half for the Bills after they got this touchdown, because once the Bills got this touchdown, the whole game changed. We're like, all right, we only got it, maybe us Bills fans, including myself, are hitting the panic button, but, it's a 10-point ball game. We got Josh Allen. We got Stephon Diggs. And we have our defense. The only thing we can do from here is go up. Our backs are against the floor. Our backs are against the wall. The only way we goes forward, the only way he goes up. So, Lamar Jackson kneels, we go into halftime. Definitely not a good half for the Bills whatsoever. Everything that could go wrong basically went wrong until that final drive, when the Bills' offense finally started to get going, finally started to look like themselves. But them getting that touchdown, they needed it. And that momentum, it definitely shifted over into the second half for the Bills, in the Bills' favor. Something finally went right for the Bills in this first half. Not to mention the blatant missed holding penalties on the Ravens. Multiple times, and it happens even in the second half, multiple times throughout this entire game, the Ravens are holding the whole day. The entire time. Because if they didn't, then I guarantee you that Bills pass rush would have got through to Lamar Jackson. I guarantee you. Because every time, I swear to God, damn near every play, you could see someone was holding. Especially when Baltimore made big plays, they were holding. Dane Jackson got his jersey tucked, and you had guys like Von Miller and them getting chokehold. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And we have arguably the worst officiating crew calling this game, Jerome Boger. So there's nothing we can do about it. And it's just frustrating. This guy's been a referee for a long time, along with a lot of the other referees in the NFL, and these guys clearly never read the rule book, and they just fucking put bets on FanDuel and don't fucking actually fairly officiate a football game. It's ridiculous. And there were some calls that probably didn't go the Ravens' way, but I mean, they were holding all fucking day. All fucking day. They were holding all fucking day. And at that point, it's a gimme for a gimme. Because you're not going to fucking call that shit on the Bills, or if you're not going to call that shit on the Ravens, then don't bother calling shit on the Bills. I don't care. If you're not going to fucking, officiate fair, then don't fucking officiate fair. So, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, it's just ridiculous to me that we can't have any type of competent officiating in this sport. It's just ridiculous to me. I guarantee you get a fucking group of high school, elementary janitors and they'd call better games than this shit. I mean, what the fuck? It's like the NFL just picks any guy off the street. All right, you're officiating this week. All right, you're officiating this week. You know, and then it's always like, you know, the officials have to talk it over. Oh, what'd you see? Oh, what'd you see? I don't know, what'd you see? I mean, it's just fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. So we start the second half with Baltimore getting the ball. Tyler Bass kicks it off. Devin Duvernay returns it for 28 yards. So Baltimore's on their 35-yard line. 1st and 10, penalty on Tyler Linderbaum, the rookie center out of Iowa. So it's now 1st and 15. Lamar Jackson completes a pass short to the middle for Rashad Bateman for no gains. Now 2nd and 15. Lamar Jackson, incomplete pass to Mark Andrews. It's now 3rd and 15. Again, Lamar Jackson, pass incomplete. Baltimore's forced to punt. 2nd 3 and out for Baltimore. And now we're starting to see the Bills defense start playing the way they should be playing. Like I said, when Lamar Jackson is forced to just throw the ball, when he's forced into a pure passing situation, he can't get it done. And I will continue to sit here and say that because in the second half here, I think Lamar Jackson had only like 23 yards passing or something like that. I'm not sure exactly off the top of my head here. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, it was a really low number. And the problem I have is the fact that they talk about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson like they're both on the same level. They're doing it on ESPN, they're doing it on CBS, all these shows. And I'm sorry, but they're not on the same level. They're not. Because they don't play the same game. They said they're both dual threat quarterbacks. No, they're not. Allen's a dual threat quarterback, not Lamar Jackson. Can Lamar Jackson throw the ball? Yeah, he can. I'm not saying he can't. Can he throw it as good as Allen, though? No. Absolutely not. I've seen Allen do it both. I've seen him run and throw it. In this game, I basically saw Lamar just run all over the Bills in the first half, maybe throw it here and there, and then the second half, he couldn't find anybody open, so he's basically just running the ball the whole time. I mean, it's like when you play your friend in Madden, and he's calling Hail Mary the whole time, and then you just keep running it with the quarterback. That's what Baltimore did in the second half. That's what it looked like. I mean, it was just, they had no offense in the second half. They didn't score a single point in the second half. I mean, it was just ridiculous. I just don't understand why people compare Allen and Lamar like they're on the same level. So far, Lamar's having a good year. I'm not saying he's not. And Lamar's won an MVP before. I will give him that. But he's not a dual threat quarterback. He's a running quarterback. You know, everybody sat here and said, he's the next Michael Vick. He's the next Michael Vick. Michael Vick was a running quarterback. Randall Cunningham was a running quarterback. Tyrod Taylor, running quarterback. Could those guys throw the ball? Yes. Yes, they can. Or yes, they could, I should say, for some of them. Could they throw it? Yeah. But were they consistently throwing it? No, they weren't. They were more of a running quarterback than they were throwing it. A dual threat quarterback does both. And what I mean by both, I mean they're doing it like all the fucking time. Allen's doing both all the time. He's running it and throwing it. He's running with it or just throwing it. I mean, just Allen's style of play, he's a dual threat. He is a dual threat, absolutely. Lamar, I'm sorry, but he runs it more than he throws it, so you can't sit here and tell him he's a dual threat. That's all I'm saying. I saw what I saw on Sunday. They're not the same quarterback. Allen had a rough start. I'm not saying he didn't. He had a rough start. The offense had a rough fucking go at it. So did that defense. I mean, the whole team honestly did. Did Lamar and the Ravens capitalize on it? Yes, they did. But they couldn't hold the lead. This is the second time Baltimore's blown a lead this year. This is the second time a team came back in their building and won the game. Miami did it to them in week 2. And now we're doing it here in week 4. What does that go to tell you? That Baltimore doesn't have a good defense. If you want to put these guys on a pedestal, fine. But if you're not going to sit here and agree with me on that take, if you think they're both dual threat quarterbacks, fine, that's your opinion. But the one thing that Josh has over Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen has a better defense. Josh Allen's on a team with a better defense. You could say the same thing, too, for Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Just pointing it out there. I'm just pointing it out there. Allen has a better defense than Lamar Jackson. He's on the roster with a better defense. And you could say the same, too, with Mahomes. Allen has a better defense than Mahomes does in Kansas City. That's all I'm saying on that. So even if you don't want to sit here and think, okay, well, Lamar, if you want to sit here and think Lamar's better than Josh, fine. That's your opinion. If you think Lamar Jackson's better than Josh Allen, that's your opinion. Excuse me. I'm sure there's people out there that think that. Again, you're allowed to have your own opinion here. I don't care. But you can't sit here and tell me that Allen's not on a better team right now. And Mahomes, he's able to bail out his defense when they're not playing well. So is Allen. I'm just saying, Allen's got the benefit of a doubt with his complete roster overall than some of these other quarterbacks in the league right now. Now that the Ravens punt the ball away, it's for 49 yards. Crowder returned it for a 7-yard gain, or he returned it for 7 yards. It's now 1st and 10 on the Buffalo 28-yard line, 13 minutes and 49 seconds to go. Bills down by 10. It's a good thing they went 3-and-out. Buffalo gets the ball back right away. You know, gotta get points. We gotta get points right now. First play of this drive, Allen scrambles for 20 yards. There's Allen again using his legs. Scrambles for 20 yards. Clutch. Let Josh cook. I don't care if he's running it. I don't care if he's throwing it. Let this man cook. Because when he scrambles like that, 20-yard gain. When he throws it when he wants to, pretty much 20-yard gain or whatever. Point is, just let him fucking cook. Next play, 1st and 10 on the Buffalo 48-yard line. Singletary rushes for 18 yards. 1st and 10, Baltimore 34-yard line. Second play, Singletary runs for 9 yards. 2nd and 1, Baltimore 25, Singletary again. Runs again for the 3rd time in a row, 4-yard loss. I mean, I don't blame them for running it there. It is 2nd and 1. It's not like it's 3rd and 1. But I mean, considering that this team doesn't run it all the time, considering they're a passing team, you ran it twice, and then you show that same formation again, where you stack the box, and it looks like you're going to run. I mean, defense is going to read it, especially if you just did it 2 times in a row. But it's 3rd and 5. It's 3rd and 5. Allen loses the snap, recovers it on the Baltimore 33. There's no gain. So it's now 4th and 1. Disaster. 2 plays, just disaster. Allen then scrambles for a 4-yard gain. Scrambles to the left. Goes all the way around. Gets that 1st down. Clutch. Saves the drive. It's now 1st and 10. Allen, incomplete pass to Gabe Davis. 2nd and 10. Allen, incomplete pass to Dawson Knox. 3rd and 10. Allen, incomplete pass to Quentin Morris. That's how fucking... That right there. That's how fucking up and down and frustrating and just heart-pounding this fucking game was. This drive right here in the 3rd quarter proves it. Right here. This is just basically how the game went. This is how the game went if you didn't watch it. Allen scrambled for 20 yards. Oh, here we go. We're getting something going. Oh, we ran it for 18 yards, then 9 yards. What do you mean we lost a fucking 4-yard? What do you mean we lost 4 yards? What do you mean Allen loses the snap? What do you mean it's 4th and 1? I mean, it was up and down the whole game. So we had to settle for the field goal. But it's okay. Still the 3rd quarter. We got a lot of time here. 20-13, Baltimore Ravens. It's okay. It's okay. We'll take the points. We'll take the points. We'll figure it out. We'll make the adjustments. We'll take the points. Clearly, the second half is still in our favor despite making mistakes because we've been able to keep Baltimore off the field. So, Baltimore gets the ball back. They start on their own 25-yard line because it's a touchback because Tyler Bass just has a boot of a fucking leg. So, 1st and 10. Baltimore runs with Justice Hill for a 4-yard gain. It's now 2nd and 6. Lamar Jackson runs for a 12-yard gain. J.K. Dobbins rushes, but it goes nowhere. They lose 2 yards, tackled by Matt Milano. And Matt Milano had a hell of a fucking game in this one. He was clutch. Jordan Poyer was clutch. Damar Hamlin actually didn't have a bad day, like I said earlier. the defense was, coming along. So it was nice to see. So it's 2nd and 12. Lamar Jackson completes a short pass to Rashad Bateman for a 4-yard gain. 3rd and 8. Lamar Jackson, pass incomplete, intended for Rashad Bateman. Pass incomplete, intended for Rashad Bateman. It's now 4th and 8. Baltimore is forced to punt. They punt for 57 yards. Buffalo starts on the 20-yard line. So, Baltimore, no points. That's good for us. We start with the ball on our 20-yard line with Josh Allen under center. First play completes a deep right pass to Stephon Diggs for a 23-yard gain. Right off the bat. It's now 1st and 10 on the Buffalo 43-yard line. Allen completes a right pass, completes a short right pass to Devin Singletary for 14 yards. 1st and 10 again on the Baltimore 43-yard line. Singletary runs up the middle for 3 yards. It's 2nd and 7. Allen throws a pass that's incomplete, intended for Gabriel Davis. It's now 3rd and 7. Allen completes a pass down the middle to Isaiah McKenzie for an 8-yard gain. It's now 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 32-yard line. Allen throws an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10. Allen throws a pass to rookie Khalil Shakir for a 14-yard gain on a nice cut and run. Great route by Shakir. Great throw by Allen. 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 18-yard line. Allen rushes for a 7-yard gain. It's now 2nd and 3 on the Baltimore 11. Allen rushes to the left for 11-yard gain and a touchdown. There's a replay. Assistant challenged the runner, broke the play ruling. The play was upheld, considered a touchdown. Bass kicks the extra point. It's now a tie ball game, 20-20 or 0-0, whatever you want to call it. It's tied. Anybody's game now. Clutch by Allen, moving the ball down the field. Nice route by Khalil Shakir. Hell of a fucking route by Diggs. Hell of a fucking route by Devin Singletary. Gotta give credit where credit's due. Allen's getting the job done today. In the second half, it's now tied. Tyler Bass kicks it off for a touchback. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens start on the 25-yard line. Lamar Jackson completes a pass to Patrick Ricard for a 6-yard gain. 2nd and 4. J.K. Dobbins attempts to rush, loses 2 yards, tackled by Tremaine Edmonds, who also had a good game. Tremaine Edmonds, yes, had a good game, who's been controversial, a polarizing player by Bills fans. Some love him, some hate him. But Evans had a good game this game. He had a good game in week 4. So it's 3rd and 6. Lamar Jackson scrambles left for a 5-yard gain. It was originally called 4th and 1, although it looked like a first down. I will say it did look like a first down. Lamar did reach out for the first down. Looked like a first down. Baltimore challenged the first down ruling. Play was upheld. They lose a timeout. Challenge not received. But it's 4th and 1. I mean, I understand why they challenged it, but at the same time, you're John Harbaugh. My guy, you have Lamar Jackson, who's fast. You have J.K. Dobbins, who's fast. 4th and 1. I mean, do you really need to challenge it, bro? Just go for it. You lost a timeout doing that. Regardless, though, 4th and 1. Lamar Jackson up the middle for 2 yards. It's first down. I mean, exactly what I'm saying. It's a first down. 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 36-yard line. Lamar Jackson completes a pass to J.K. Dobbins for a 5-yard gain. It's 2nd and 5. J.K. Dobbins rushes for 7 yards. It's now 1st and 10. Start the 4th quarter here now. On the Baltimore 48-yard line. It's the 4th quarter now. Lamar Jackson throws a pass defended by Prince Emili. Intended for Mark Andrews, is intercepted by Jordan Poyer at the 50 and returned for no gain. Tackled by Lamar Jackson. Clutch play by Jordan Poyer. Clutch play by the Bills defense. Bills get the ball back. It's now 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 50-yard line. That's what we like to see. Turnovers will help you win football games. You win the turnover battle, you'll win the football game. Fucking clutch by Jordan Poyer. Jordan Poyer's good at football. Fucking pay the man. Pay the fucking man. 10 on the Baltimore 50. Zach Moss rushes for 1 yard. 2nd and 9. Allen, incomplete pass intended for Stephon Diggs. It's now 3rd and 9. Already, it's 3rd and 9. Allen, sacked by Odafe Oweh for a 12-yard loss. This is what I'm talking about in this game. Capitalize on a turnover, and then you go 3 and out. And why are we running the ball with Zach Moss on first down? Why? You're not a running football team. You are not a running team. You're not a running football team. I'm sorry. And if you are going to run with the ball on first down, you should be running with Devin Singletary or honestly James Cook because he has that speed. No, you're going to run with Zach Moss. He's a red zone back. He's a goal line back. I'm sorry. And it sucks to say because I like Zach Moss, but he was a third-round pick. He's not panning out. Doesn't seem like the coaching staff really likes him. I don't know why. They didn't use him at all last year. And I don't know. It just... Zach Moss hasn't panned out. It's year 3. He just hasn't panned out at this point. Hoping, he could do something here still in year 3, maybe year 4, but so far it's not panned out for the Bills. So now, Bills are forced to punt. Sam Martin, I will say this, nice punt by Sam Martin for 56 yards. Baltimore's on their own 5-yard line now. So that was a clutch punt by Sam Martin. And they say when Sam Martin punts the ball, his punts are hard to track. So it's an advantage. Considering what happened with Matt Isaiah in that unfortunate situation, the Broncos cutting Sam Martin and us picking him up, it's been okay. It's certainly been okay for us, and it's certainly been an upgrade over Matt Hawk last year. So, hey, hats off to Sam Martin on that punt because they started at their own 5-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 5-yard line. First play, Justice Hill rushes to the left for 10 yards. It's now 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 15-yard line. Justice Hill runs up the middle for 12 yards. It's 1st and 10, Baltimore 27. Baltimore's driving here. Lamar Jackson. Pass incomplete to the left, intended for Demarcus Robinson. Penalty on Taron Johnson for holding, 5 yards. It's now 1st and 10 of the Baltimore 32. Lamar Jackson runs to the left for no gain. Tackled by Tremaine Edmonds. Penalty on Kevin Zeider for offensive holding, 10-yard penalty accepted by the Bills defense. It's now 1st and 20 on the Baltimore 22. They barely called any holding calls on the offense, on the Baltimore offense all day. They were holding all fucking day, like I said, and they maybe got 2 holding calls. I mean, they were holding all fucking day. It was ridiculous. So it's 1st and 20. Lamar Jackson completes a pass short down the middle to Demarcus Robinson for a 7-yard gain. 2nd and 13. Baltimore is on their own 29-yard line. Lamar Jackson scrambles to the left for 5 yards. It's now 3rd and 8. Lamar Jackson completes a pass short down the middle to Mark Andrews for 9 yards. 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 43-yard line. Justice Hill rushes to the left for no gain. Tackled by Shaq Lawson. And I will say, if Shaq Lawson's good at doing anything, it's stuffing the run, and he certainly did on that play. 2nd and 10. Lamar Jackson, pass incomplete, intended for Mark Andrews. Penalty again on Taron Johnson for pass interference, accepted for 17 yards. Now, the fucking Ravens start on the Buffalo 40-yard line. Ball was at the spot of the foul. Obviously, that's why. Justice Hill rushes to the left for 14 yards. It's now 1st and 10 on the Buffalo 26-yard line. 1st and 10, penalty on Tyler Linderbaum, the rookie, for false start, 5 yards. It's now 1st and 15. Lamar Jackson scrambles to the left for 7 yards, tackled by Matt Milano. 2nd and 8. Lamar Jackson throws a pass short down the middle to J.K. Dobbins, loses 4 yards, tackled by Tremaine Edmonds. It's now 3rd and 12. Lamar Jackson scrambles up the middle for an 18-yard gain, tackled by Matt Milano. It's getting into red zone territory here. Buffalo on the Buffalo 10-yard line. Lamar Jackson completes a pass short down the middle to Devin Duvernay for 9 yards. 2nd and 1 on the Buffalo 1-yard line. J.K. Dobbins attempts to rush it in the end zone, loses 3 yards. It's now 3rd and 4. Lamar Jackson scrambles up the middle for 2-yard gain. It's now 4th and 2. What do you do here with the Baltimore Ravens? What do you do here if you're the Baltimore Ravens? Do you take the points with the field goal, or do you go for it? Because this was a controversial call, and they've been talking about this all week. Me, personally, I don't blame John Harbaugh for going for it. It's a high-scoring league now, especially in the AFC. Like we've been talking about all offseason, it's the AFC arms race. Everybody's got weapons. Pretty much all the quarterbacks are in the AFC. You fucking go for it. 4th and 2. We have Lamar Jackson as your quarterback. One of the top quarterbacks in this league. We throw it to Devin Duvernay. It's tipped and intercepted by Jordan Poyer in the end zone. Returned for no gain. So it's a touchback. Buffalo starts on their own 20-yard line with 4 minutes and 9 seconds to go. Disaster for Baltimore and fortune for the Buffalo Bills. Fortune. Luck, whatever you want to call it. was good for the Buffalo Bills. Jordan Poyer with his second interception of the day. Playing good football as always. Clutch, strong safety. On 1st and 10, Allen completes a pass to Diggs for 4 yards. 2nd and 6, Devin Singletary rushes for 4 yards. It's now 3rd and 2 already. Part of me's thinking, here we go. But then, Allen completes a pass deep down the right side of the field for Dawson Knox for 20 yards. Tackled by Marcus Williams. It's now 1st and 10 on the Buffalo 48-yard line. Allen scrambles to the right for 7 yards. It's now 2nd and 3. Allen completes a pass to the left to Khalil Shakir for a 9-yard gain. 1st and 10. Penalty on Deion Dawkins for a false start, 5 yards. So now it's 1st and 15 on the Baltimore 41-yard line. Allen completes and Allen. Pass incomplete, intended for Devin Singletary. Penalty on Brandon Stevens for roughing the passer. 15 yards accepted. It's now 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 26-yard line. With 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go, before the 2-minute warning, Singletary rushes to the left, loses a yard. It's now 2nd and 11. 2 minutes to go. Allen completes a pass to the right to Devin Singletary for 16 yards. 1st and 10 on the Baltimore 11. Singletary rushes it for 8 yards. It's now 2nd and 2. Allen rushes to the left for 2 yards. Tackled by Calais Campbell and Chuck Clark. With 1:17 to go, Allen kneels it. Clock's down to 39 seconds. Bills kneel it one more time. With 3 seconds to go, Tyler Bass kicks the field goal. Clock hits 0. Bills win the ball game 23-20. After last week, with the clock against the Bills, this week, the clock is for the Bills. Maybe that's just the football gods repaying them for that awful hot weather game in Miami. I'm not sure. But Buffalo fought till the end. Josh Allen, being the fucking field general he is, drove his team down the field, did what he had to do, thanks to Jordan Poyer and that defense coming in strong towards the end as Baltimore almost got in the end zone. The defense still made a fucking play, and the Bills win the ball game as they're now 3-1 while Baltimore's 2-2. This game had my heart beating out of my fucking chest. I hope that play-by-play didn't sound bad. But I needed to talk about it. I needed to go through that whole game again because it was just fucking insane. And the emotions were so high. And it was up and down and up and down and up and down, like I said, on that drive in the third quarter for the Bills. I mean, this game was insane. Down to the wire again. Second week in a row for the Bills. Just crazy stuff, man. Just crazy stuff. And this is just week 4 of the NFL season. Just week 4 of the 2022 season. Crazy. Crazy stuff. So Josh, in this game, 19 completions out of 36 attempts for 213 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was sacked once on 12 yards. QBR 68.4. Given this stat line, not really good for Josh. Typically, Josh be throwing for 300 yards or more. Obviously, his QBR is normally higher, but, you know, given the way how ugly this game was, given the weather conditions, I mean, he wasn't going to have his normal good day that he normally has. He wasn't going to normally have a good day like he usually has. And even looking at Lamar Jackson's stat line, he was 20 completions of 29 attempts for 144 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and he was sacked twice for 10 yards. And his QBR was 63. Both quarterbacks rushed the ball 11 times. Allen rushed it for 70 yards and a touchdown, a rushing touchdown. Lamar rushed for 73 yards and no touchdowns. Allen did fumble once. Same with Singletary. But Allen didn't lose the fumble, Singletary did. Speaking of which, Singletary had 11 attempts rushing for 49 yards, no touchdowns. Zach Moss had 3 attempts rushing for 6 yards. What a wonderful stat line that is. Stephon Diggs had 4 receptions for 62 yards. Dawson Knox had 3 receptions for 40 yards. Khalil Shakir had 2 receptions for 23 yards. Isaiah McKenzie, 4 receptions for 21 yards and a touchdown. Gabriel Davis, 1 reception for 13 yards. Jamison Crowder had 1 reception for 7 yards. He was targeted 4 times. ugly day for the offense. It was an ugly day. It was an ugly day, but they were able to drive down the field at the end and get that clutch field goal they needed in order to win the game. But it was an ugly day for this offense, and certainly no excuses. I mean, it was raining, but like I said, last year you played the Texans at home in Orchard Park. It was pouring rain, and you dropped 40 on them. You guys can play in the fucking rain. So I don't know why the offense wasn't in sync today. I know the Bills have injuries, but they had their personnel out there. I know Gabe Davis has his lingering ankle issue, although he's been a full participant in practice this week, so that's good to see. But there is no excuse. This offense can play better. It certainly can play better. It needs to play better going forward. You are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers this week, but next week you will be playing the Kansas City Chiefs. You will be playing the Kansas City Chiefs, who looked fucking dominant, who looked like, honestly, the top team in the AFC right now after that game in Tampa Bay. And at least from an offensive perspective, of course. We'll get into that come time for the Week 4 roundtable, which we're working on. But, I mean, the offense has to play better. Obviously, they think they know that. I think we know that as fans. And it is a week-to-week league, but, playing this Pittsburgh Steelers team coming up, not having TJ Watt, and they do have injuries on that defensive side of the ball, which we will get into, there's no excuse. You got to go out there, you got to do your job, and you got to be effective and efficient. And, I mean, looking at these stat lines and talking about how the first half went, it didn't look good for the offense. So, got to get it together. Got to fix it in the film room, and got to get that shit right. As for the Ravens, Justice Hill had 8 attempts rushing for 45 yards. J.K. Dobbins had 13 attempts rushing for 41 yards and a touchdown. He also had 4 receptions for 22 yards and a touchdown. Patrick Ricard, the fullback, had 1 attempt rushing for 3 yards, 3 receptions for 17 yards. Devin Duvernay had 4 receptions for 51 yards. Rashad Bateman had 3 receptions for 17 yards. Mark Andrews had 2 receptions for 15 yards. Quiet day for Mark Andrews. So, good job on the Bills' defense for covering Andrews, because that's been Lamar Jackson's bailout target, his security blanket over there. And Demarcus Robinson had 2 receptions for 10 yards. Jordan Poyer had 2 interceptions along with 6 solo tackles. Jordan Poyer had 2 interceptions for 6 combined tackles, 4 solo tackles, 2 assisted tackles. Von Miller had 1 QB hit along with 2 tackles. Greg Rousseau had 4 combined tackles along with 1 quarterback hit. Like I said, he's having a phenomenal second year and nobody's talking about it. Daquan Jones had 2 combined tackles along with 1 QB hit. Tremaine Edmonds had 9 combined tackles and 1 quarterback hit. Hell of a game for Tremaine Edmonds. Matt Milano had 13 combined tackles, 2 tackles for a loss. Hell of a game for Matt Milano. DeMar Hamlin had 8 combined tackles. So, I mean, these guys are getting it done. These guys are certainly getting it done on defense. Given that they did give up 20 to Baltimore in that first half, but considering the way Lamar Jackson has played on offense against other teams this year, holding the Ravens offense with Lamar Jackson to 20 points, that's still a good performance with the defense. Was it ugly? Yes. But like I said, it really at the end of the day came down to the offense in the first half. They got to fix their mistakes. They got to get it right. And obviously the Bills still need to get healthy at the end of the day. That's what it mainly comes down to. This team needs to get healthy. Again, no Ed Oliver, no Jordan Phillips. Micah Hyde's out for the year. Trey White's still out. Christian Benford's out. Dane Jackson did come back, and Jordan Poyer. That was huge for this team this week. Huge. Now, Jordan Poyer did not practice the last 2 days. We'll see what happens come time for game time. Obviously, if he doesn't play, it'll be Jaquan Johnson and DeMar Hamlin again. Dane Jackson's healthy, though, and Kyler Elam's been fucking killing it. So, we're okay on corner. It's just got to get healthy at the end of the day, though. That's mainly what it comes down to. This team needs to get healthy, and it needs to get healthy fast. We'll be at a bye week, though, in 2 weeks, and it's much, much needed, and that'll certainly help our team out. Getting rested, getting guys healthy, and coming back strong for the second, half of our season, if you will, considering we have a bye week this early. So that'll definitely help in the long run. But I definitely am glad that the Bills got this win because it was fucking miserable. It was awful in the first half. I'm glad I didn't break anything. I did a good job on that. I didn't break anything. And, hopefully we're not talking about that come time for Pittsburgh on Sunday. I'll be at that game. Maybe I'll see some of you guys at that game. That's the second game I'm going to this year. Hopefully I'll run into some friends. Going with some family. It'll be fun. Family from Pittsburgh's coming up, so that'll be fun. Hopefully, though, we can get the dub because that's what's important, obviously. Because Bills being 5-1, Bills being 4-1 going into Kansas City, that would be huge. That would be extremely huge. And not only that, the Pittsburgh Steelers benched Mitchell Trubisky after the first half and started Kenny Pickett, and Kenny Pickett, the rookie first-round pick, will be the starter going forward. So it'll be interesting to see what really Kenny Pickett does in his first NFL start against the Buffalo Bills. And then not only that, but Kenny Pickett will be playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the following week. So he's playing two top-tier defenses early on as he's the starter going forward. Now, I will say that offense did click with Kenny Pickett in there. That offense did look better with Kenny Pickett. Is it where it should be? No. But you're still playing the Pittsburgh Steelers at the end of the day, who's been a top franchise in the league for a long time. They're basically a brand. And you still got to be ready. The Bills lost to them last year in the home opener. They got bullied by the Steelers on defense. They fucking were killing them. And they were killing them on that special teams with that block punt. Not to mention that last time the Bills were a 14 or 14.5 point favorite, whatever it is, they lost to Jacksonville. So I'm sure the Bills are not going to overlook this game. But it's certainly going to be a big game going into Week 5. I was hoping for a Mitchell Trubisky homecoming, but that didn't happen, obviously. But it'll be interesting to see Kenny Pickett, especially in person, watch his first career start, watch Josh Allen and the Bills as always. And I think Buffalo's going to win the game. I really don't see how Pittsburgh could come out here with this game. I think Pittsburgh will score points, though. They have a really good receiving core. And Kenny Pickett certainly looks like a better option than Mitch Trubisky. Again, I swear to God, though, Trubisky did not look as bad as he looks in Pittsburgh as he did here. He did not look that bad here like he does in Pittsburgh. Because I don't know what's going on there. Like I said, that offensive philosophy, I just don't think it's a good idea putting Kenny Pickett in there with Matt Canada as their offensive coordinator and having a terrible offensive line. I was just saying, start Trubisky this year, develop the quarterback on the bench. You can still do it. They did it with Pat Mahomes in fucking Kansas City. You could still do it. I know it's an older method nowadays, but throwing Kenny Pickett in the fire against the Bills and then the Bucs the following week, that's a big move. That's a ballsy, bold move. So hopefully it doesn't turn into a bonehead move for the Steelers organization because you invested a first-round pick in Kenny Pickett. Ben Roethlisberger ain't there no more, and he's the successor to Ben Roethlisberger, so he's got big shoes to fill, physically and literally, because Ben Roethlisberger was a big boy. We'll talk about the rest of the NFL, what happened in Week 4 in the next video. That about wraps this up. It was more of a play-by-play, but just to understand just how crazy this game was. But the Bills got the win. That's what's important. We recapped it. We went over everything. The Bills need to work on offense. They need to get James Cook going. Obviously, the weather was out of their control along with the officiating. But going forward, got to clean up that offense. And the defense has to keep doing their thing. Although I will say the defense needs to work on that third down philosophy thing. I don't know if they will, though, or not. But defense is okay. Although Tremaine Edmonds is dealing with injury as well. We'll see what happens, who's playing, who's not. That all depends on how practice goes by the end of the week. But Bills going to Pittsburgh at home, at Orchard Park, 1 o'clock Sunday. I'm excited. I'll be at that game. It'll be a fucking good game. Until the next video, go Bills. I'll see you then.
It's allowed the Bills to have complete control of the clock and of the situation.
And I do think it harkens back to losing that 21-point lead in the fourth quarter against Miami. They are right back there looking at that. Another big score, another big lead, potentially blown here at home.
Chip shot from 21 yards away. Tyler Bass. The kick is good, and it's a game winner. The Bills complete the comeback, and they knock off the Ravens 23-20. Fifth straight home loss for Baltimore. Unanswered points, 20 of them for the Buffalo Bills to win it at the gun. Baltimore was rolling in the first half.